What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and if you're not, you will notice I'm in a different place because this is a Montreal travel vlog. Chris and I are here for 3 full days. It is a quick trip. We took the train yesterday, the Amtrak, from New York City to Montreal yesterday. It was an all-day experience. It was supposed to be about 11 and a half hours. It ended up being closer to 13. We just had a lot of delays, which was kind of expected. We wanted to take the train to see fall foliage, and it was very, very pretty until it got dark and then you couldn't see anything. And then we sat at the Canadian border for 2 hours and then sat again for half hour when there was freight trains that took priority. But now we are here and we're flying back, which I am excited about. But this trip, we're mostly just focused on eating. We want to eat around Montreal. It seems to be a big food city. But you know, while we're here, we're also going to do some shopping, some touristy things. I think it'll be a fun little trip. It's Wednesday morning. We fly out Saturday. So we're ready to make the most of it. It is around 8 a.m. and we're going to go get some coffee. Coffee place of the day, picked out by Chris. We both got the same thing. These are like almond pistachio croissants, so excited to try, and a vanilla latte. It's like high 50s today, so it's not too cold, which is nice, but I'm excited to have a warm drink. Very vanilla-y. That was a good kickoff to the day, but we definitely could have split just one pastry. The pastries were like pretty dense.
Yeah.
They were good though,
Very
just dense, yeah. We have made it to our first tourist attraction.
It's why they call the city Montreal. It's after the name of this mountain, Mont Royal.
Wow. We already had to start walking uphill though, and wow, it's really getting warm out today. I'm quite hot even in just a long sleeve, but it is a beautiful day. We are just like straight up hiking and I'm wearing boots, but like fashion boots. We have to go up these stairs to get to the top of the mountain. This is the Grande staircase. We made it to the top. It's really nice up here. This is like not what I was expecting at all, but very pretty. We're on our way down now and it's almost 11 and it's so much more crowded, which is interesting. I guess we originally got here like 9:30, 10-ish.
Yeah.
We weren't super early, but now it's quite crowded, so it's nice that we got to enjoy it with fewer people.
Yep.
But now we're walking towards Mile End, which is like boutique shops, because we're also going to eat lunch over there. We've made it to Mile End and it is very, very empty. It's a nice area though. Vibes are good. Benefits of traveling during off season. Definitely a lot of streetwear.
Yeah.
And like thrift shops around here. Chris got one thing. My favorite thing here, which I don't know if it's because we are English or we're unapproachable or they do this for everyone, is they don't talk to you a lot, even though we are the only ones there. Like if you need something, they are like, do you need something? But they're not trying to like
They're not
upsell you or
salesmen.
anything. Yeah, which is nice. Time to get a pastrami sandwich for lunch. This is a super popular deli. I'm surprised there's like no line.
Line inside.
Like, oh my gosh. This place is so cheap compared to New York. These french fries be looking good. I got french fries and one pastrami sandwich to split. And here's the star of the show. It does look pretty good. Okay, so first we got there at like 11:50 a.m. and we could sit down immediately, but now that we left, it's like 12:20, and there is quite a line, and there's not that many seats. So, like, I don't know. I'm sure the turnover is fast, especially if you're just eating a sandwich. Like, we ate it pretty quickly, but maybe come before 12. And this is also not a busy day.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like that place caters to touristy people. Overall, the fries were good. I feel like the pastrami sandwich left a little to be desired.
I thought it was pretty good, but probably not better than Kat's, but it had a very nice, tender mouthfeel.
I just feel like it wasn't flavorful enough for me.
Yeah,
I
it
like
could have more
salt.
flavor.
And yeah, we just went to Kat's Deli, which is like really famous in Manhattan. So I feel like really good pastrami has been fresh on our mind. So it was hard to live up to that, but it was a lot cheaper than Kat's. But the sandwiches were also way smaller. But now we are walking to Mile End because we learned that we actually weren't on it before. So we're gonna see the shops. There's a lot of murals too on the buildings, which are cool to look at. Chris has been eyeing up this donut shop, so we gotta check it out. We got caramel salad, which Chris says means salted caramel.
I think so.
It looks good.
The caramel flavor is definitely strong.
Yeah, it tastes exactly like the caramel candies.
Yeah, that's what it tastes like.
It's good. I don't think the donut is like hot as hot.
I agree.
But the icing is good. The store was very cool to look through, but it was very expensive, and we really don't need to be buying home stuff. We got carry-ons for the way back.
The Jean Talon Farmers Market. The largest farmers market in Montreal.
Pretty much every stand is the same, which does make sense. After the farmers market, we took the metro home, which was nice, and then we had a 2-hour rest, which I desperately needed. But now we're on our way to dinner on another shopping street, and we're going to the small Canadian brand. Never heard of it. That store was sad because there was no sale section, my favorite section. Also, I thought that everything at Lululemon was the same price in like Canadian dollars as it was in America. So you would get like a slight discount, even though there is like 15% sales tax here. But some of the Canadian stuff was more expensive than America still, only by like $10. Interesting outside. Good vibes were the first ones here. We both got a glass of red wine, and now our appetizer is this grilled octopus, which is one of my favorite foods, so I'm excited.
Yeah, sweet potato puree, chickpeas, and chorizo too. The octopus itself is not the best I've had, but I really like the flavors of the dish. Like the potato puree, the chorizo, and the chickpeas really like blended well together.
Our two mains is lobster risotto, which I love lobster and risotto. And this is like rigatoni with lamb. And
mint oil and pistachio crumble, so it's gonna have a
and
really,
ricotta,
yes.
so it should be creamy. Both of these look really good. 2 thumbs up.
Flavor is pretty basic, I think, like your generic creamy, cheesy sauce, but I feel like what really got me in this is the textures. There's so many different textures. There's a chewiness of the pasta, the crunch from the pistachio crumble, that like tenderness from the braised lamb. It's like a really interesting combination of textures.
The risotto is very good. I like it a lot. It's pretty basic risotto, but it's good. We've had a heavy dessert day, but We can't resist a tiramisu. And then it was chocolate and he poured fresh espresso over it, but it was so fast I did not get a video. We also got a decaf latte to split because this is our new dessert trend. But this is better than expected. I actually really like it. It's not the best tiramisu I've ever had, but we've eaten a lot of tiramisu at this point, and it's pretty solid.
I feel like because it was like a fresh hot espresso poured over this like chocolate flaky thing, it was like a refreshing take on tiramisu, and there was a good balance of bitter and sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I love chocolate, and these chocolate flakes are pretty like high quality chocolate. They taste good. So I like that there's more chocolate, and I don't like cocoa powder because sometimes you choke on it when you are eating it. So I like this better. That decaf latte was the worst coffee I've ever had. One of the worst.
I agree.
Not good.
It had flavor at least, so it wasn't too watery, but
very
it was
burnt
bitter.
Flavor. But the tiramisu was really good. I think that was a favorite thing I ate. That
Best
or the
dessert
lobster
of
risotto.
Montreal so far.
Yeah. A big day of desserts and not a big day of vegetables and fruit. We're gonna check out this grocery store, IGA. I like seeing what's in different grocery stores. Let's get some cheese curds. I know, I'm down. I mean, I'm sure they would be good. This is all like mocktails, which is pretty cool. I feel like I don't see stuff like this in America that often at grocery stores. It's now the next morning and we are going to Tim Hortons for Chris's first time.
I'm excited.
Can't go to Canada and not go to Tim Hortons, but we're just gonna get coffee, and then last night at the grocery store we bought fruit for breakfast. So we're gonna come back to our apartment and eat some fruit. She is Beauty, she is Grace. That Tim Hortons was a mess. There were a lot of people and there were so many problems. Like they put the order in wrong for someone, which I never know like when that happens who fault it actually is, but they remade the drink, and then like another person was trying to order some food thing and they're like, it'll take 15 minutes, and he's like, can you do it in 10? And they're like, no.
It was just really busy.
Yeah, and I wanted a French vanilla coffee because I'm pretty sure that's what I've gotten in the past. It's just like super sweet coffee basically, and they're like, it's out. So we both got caramel lattes. But let's see Chris drink it for the first time.
Pretty good, I guess. Not anything special, but I guess the job done.
Sad. Yummy breakfast that's not bread. This coffee has like no caramel flavor at all, but it's okay. Public Transit King. This morning we're going to the Botanical Gardens, so we just metroed. We gotta buy our tickets, but the entrance is looking pretty dead.
Sad.
So I'm interested to see what they have growing for us today. Bananas. I'm a fan of this Halloween exhibit, specifically this one. All the greenhouses were pretty cool, and now they just have like a huge outdoor section, which is very pretty as well, and it's a really nice day out. We got lucky, knock on wood, with weather on this trip so far. It's like we're back in China. This is beautiful. Very cool. We left the gardens. We were there for probably a little over 2 hours. We could have spent longer there. Like the gardens were very large, but I feel like we saw the highlights, and it's already a little bit past 12, and there's a streetwear store that Chris specifically really wants to go to that's like between our apartment and the gardens. So we're gonna go here first, but there's nothing else around it. And then we're gonna take another subway and get poutine for lunch. So we're kind of on a time crunch. But I feel like we enjoyed the gardens. Like, it was really pretty. This is interesting. Like, no labels. Poutine time, I am ready. So many different poutines. How do you even choose? We got 2 poutines. This is the classic, and then this has like mushroom, sour cream, and pastrami on it. They are quite large. I am ready to eat though.
Best poutine of Canada so far.
This one I wish had meat on it, which I know this doesn't have meat, because I feel like this could be a little more loaded, and this one is like too loaded, but it is good. I'm in a minor food coma after that poutine, but it was quite good. We got 2 regulars. There's like regular and large, and we asked the waitress what to get, and she's like, get 2 regulars. And we saw people get largest on the way out, and it would have been like so much food.
It was a very, very good French fry plate.
Yeah. We just got back to our Airbnb. It's already like 4:35. We walked home from lunch. First off, we ate lunch late, so by the time we were done with lunch, it was probably almost 2 already. But then we're like, we'll walk home. It was about 2 miles, but essentially it was through a bunch of like shopping areas. We were kind of close to where we were yesterday, but taking a different path. And we're like, we'll walk home. There's some stores we want to hit and like see if there's anything good that catches our eyes. So before lunch, Chris did get this very, very basic blue shirt from Studio Nixon. It was a cool store, definitely a little bit weird of an entrance, but the guy was really nice, and Chris really liked this plain shirt, so I'm glad that he got to check it out. And then after lunch, first we went to a thrift shop, but kind of just like looked around very briefly. I feel like you need to like be in the mindset to go to a thrift shop. This one was quite large, but it was cool to see. There's definitely a lot of vintage shopping in Montreal if like that's your thing. And then while I was at the restaurant, I was just like looking on my Google Maps the path home, and I saw that this matcha location had really high reviews, and it's called And Matcha, just the and symbol and then matcha. And I read some of the reviews, and all the reviews were like, oh my gosh, the owner is absolutely incredible. Like, you have to go to this store. Like, the owner is so passionate about what he does. Like, you'll have an amazing time, go. And I'm pretty okay with matcha. I love tea. And they also had mentioned that he had tea as well. So I was like, you know, we're walking past it. Let's check it out. And I didn't get that much film when we were in the matcha shop, but that's because we had so much one-on-one conversation with the owner. It was very cool. So we had like a tasting situation where he gave us 7 drinks to try. I think they were like all the drinks that he currently had in stock. And essentially he brewed tea and matcha, but he also would like mix it with other ingredients. He's like, everything is sweetened with dates. And then like every single tea he had like pineapple in some, cocoa in some, banana in some, avocado. Like, you could tell that he was really, really passionate about crafting these drinks. And I've never had drinks like that. Like, I've drank a lot of matcha and tea, but this was like mixed with other ingredients. It was very, very interesting. And yeah, he was just really, really into tea. And he gave us a lot of background on like matcha and tea in general. And I am kind of a tea novice, like I drink tea a lot. But one interesting thing, which I just literally never thought of before, is he's like, yeah, usually when people think of matcha, they think of like green matcha, because the Chinese, when they invented it, they were only using green tea, and like matcha is just green tea powder. So there can be like white matcha, which is white tea powder, and black matcha, which is black tea powder. And that makes sense, but I never thought of it. And I actually don't like green tea that much, so I'm not like a huge green matcha person, but he had one drink that was white matcha, which I really liked. And he mixed it with sesame seeds, which was also very interesting. Like he's like, oh, toast the sesame seeds and make it with the white matcha. So then I got some white matcha from him, which I'm very excited to take home. And like he was like giving us recipes to try with it. It was just a very like cool conversation. He was obviously like so passionate about it. And then Chris got a jug of like liquid ready-made matcha, white matcha with sesame. I'll show it to you later. And you know, he has to drink it before we leave on Saturday, but it was pretty good. We really liked it in the tasting. And then we kept talking to him, and he had a lot of teas from Taiwan, and Chris was like, oh, I'm Taiwanese, so they were talking about that. And then like as we're paying for the things, he's like, oh, I'm just gonna like give you this tea, and it's like the most pure tea I've ever had. Like they like don't prune it at all, and like it's incredible. So I'm very interested in trying this, but overall it was a really, really cool experience. So if you're in Montreal and you like tea and or matcha, I would highly, highly recommend and matcha. That was definitely really cool, and it's really cool to like see someone so passionate about something, and I learned a lot from it. Like it was a really, really cool experience. So we spent some time there, then we kept walking closer to our apartment. We went to the Underground City, which is just a mall, basically. It was like kind of overhyped. I mean, we knew we weren't gonna spend a ton of time in this mall, but it's very close to our apartment. We wanted to check it out. And yeah, it was just like a mall that was partially underground. Like it wasn't even fully underground, and just like very typical mall stores. Like there was Lululemon, Sephora, Aritzia, you know, very basic mall. And when we came out of there, we went to the Aritzia that's very, very close to this apartment that is above ground, because I wanted to look at their puffer jackets. I actually really thought that I wanted a white corduroy puffer jacket, which I did try on. And Aritzia is the same price in USD as it is in the Canadian dollar. So I did some math, and even with Montreal's 15% sales tax, you're still getting 16% in savings, because the US dollar is so strong compared to the Canadian dollar. So obviously I'm like, this is the perfect time to buy this jacket, you know, gotta get the savings. And it's nice because Aritzia has sales, but I feel like all of the like normal colored stuff sells out fast, and it was like nice to just be able to try it on and get it in the store and still get a little bit of a discount. But I tried on the white, but actually ended on this like light brown color. And it's very warm. It says it's good for, I believe, like -4 Celsius, which is like 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And as you know, if you watch my videos, because I feel like I mentioned this in so many videos, I moved from LA, and this is like my first winter in New York on the East Coast in like 5 years. So I first off like don't have a lot of coats. So I needed this, and I need a warm coat. So that was a fun thing to pick up. And then the last thing we got in our travels, which is very basic, is a Montreal Starbucks mugs. I collect these. I have so many of these. I love them, you know? I think they're cute. The design is cute. I actually don't have an orange one. It's a nice, good color. And it's always fun, like nice little souvenir. So today was definitely a heavy shopping day compared to yesterday. But it was a lot of fun, and now we're gonna take a little bit of a break. We're not super hungry because we did eat a fairly big lunch and then also late, so we're gonna chill out for a second and then regroup for dinner. This is supposed to be a speakeasy. We have to wait, which is kind of crazy because it's 6 p.m. So people must be at the speakeasy kind of early. I thought no one would be here, but it's okay, we got time. We're starting with a palate cleanser, which has gin in it. Mine is tequila with green apple liquor, cherry, and cardamom. Do you remember what was in yours?
Mine is a whiskey base with a little bit of apple, Earl Grey tea.
Cheers! These are more advanced drinks, but this is like tequila with strawberry liquor, cherry, and an egg, because I asked for creamy.
Mine was a little bit of bourbon, some Irish whiskey, some Kelly. I don't know what else is in there.
Alright, cheers. for dinner, we just got takeout and we got a steak sandwich and a chicken parm sandwich. So we're gonna split them and see which one is better. Are you trying the chicken?
Chicken first, yeah. I feel like chicken then beef. It's good bread, good chicken. I wish it was a little saucier, but
Yeah, I agree. It's a little dry.
it's still good. The flavor's good.
Wait, try a bite of the steak. I feel like it's hard to eat. It's so tall. I think this tastes very similar to the chicken one. It's just steak. I think I like the chicken one more.
I agree, but just because I think I'm normally not a beef and a sandwich
person. Yeah, no, they're both good.
Yeah, but they're both good. Like high quality ingredients.
It is now the next morning, and we're getting a little later of a start. It's like 9:20, but our Airbnb like shut off the water and there was an extremely loud plumber, so it's like, okay, it's time to leave. But we are staying in a cheap Airbnb, so it's kind of like you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
But last night, the bar we ended up going to was really cool. We were gonna go to the Milky Way cocktail bar, which is like really TikTok popular. But Chris is like, oh, this bar is also really highly rated and it is way closer. Like it was only like a 5-minute walk from our apartment. So we're like, let's just go there. And this bar was called the Cloakroom, which it was like kind of a speakeasy, but I don't know. I feel like that was not the main point of it. The main point is they don't have any menu. They just like talk to you about what you like and then make a like fancy drink based on what you like. So for our first drinks, they just asked us 3 questions. It was basically like, what liquor do you want? Do you want like more alcohol forward or refreshing? And what kind of like flavor profile do you want? But they're pretty basic. Like they're like, oh, like floral or fruity. But my answers were tequila, refreshing, and fruity. And what were your answers?
Whiskey, refreshing, and like sour, bitter, citrusy.
And I think he did a good job. Yeah. It was just that those were pretty basic answers, so I feel like we got like pretty basic drinks. Mine was more basic than yours because I feel like whiskey fruity is not that common. Yeah. And you also told him you liked apparel and he put apparel in yours, which I thought was cool. But then for the second drink, he was basically just like, oh, like, what do you want? Which I am not good at being put on the spot. But I was like, oh, for me, can you do something like creamy and sweet? And then he's like, what alcohol? Like, stick with tequila. And I was basically like, sure. So he's like, the only thing that we have for creamy is an egg. And I'm like, okay. So mine was like egg with some fruity liqueur and then cinnamon, which I didn't realize. I didn't hear it until I drank it, but it was just like a sweet cinnamon drink, which was very good. I really liked my second drink. And what did you request?
Something smoky or spicy, spirit forward, and with the whiskey still.
Yeah, and yours was good too. It wasn't as spirit forward as I thought. Sometimes alcohol forward drinks are like really strong, but this one wasn't that strong and it had a nice like spicy aftertaste. So yeah, but I think our 2 second drinks were like more special. Yeah. But cool experience overall. And then, yeah, we just chilled this morning, drank the sesame matcha for our caffeine of the day. And now we're going to brunch at
Fabrique,
which is TikTok famous. We're excited. We got their juice of the day, which is like carrot, passion fruit, and then like 10 other fruits that like they listed.
Pineapple, a lot of orange.
All right, give it a taste test. I feel like the carrot is shining through.
Yes.
I worked for a long weekend. I was like, that's very posh of you.
Just stupid Vegas for a long weekend.
It's actually pretty good. Like the apple is the predominant flavor though, I think.
What a glowing review. Actually pretty good.
I don't know what I expected. It's actually pretty sweet.
Also, I got a way more comfy chair than Chris. I feel like the passion fruit also is what's making it sweet. But yeah, it's good. This looks so good. So it's like apple puree, pancake, soft-boiled egg, bacon. What else is in here?
Maple syrup, cheddar.
Yeah, I'm excited to try. We just got 2 of the same thing because this is what they're most known for. first bite. How are you gonna get everything in
I
it?
don't know. I think I'm gonna just try the pancake first. The pancake is really good. It has a really nice crisp on the outside and soft center.
That was so delicious. No notes, would eat again. We've made it to the Ferris wheel. This water is quite gross though. And there's a bunch of shops, but they're all closed because it's not tourist season, I guess. We're at the top. What would you rank the Ferris wheel?
Rank as in what?
Just out of 10. Experience.
8 out of 10.
Wow, that's pretty high.
I mean, it was a good Ferris wheel.
It was fun. I
But
maybe
you
give
didn't
it like
rate it.
a 6.5 out of 10. Like it was cool, but
Yeah, I mean,
at the end of the day, it's still just a Ferris wheel.
yeah, you're right. But it was
But
a
I'm
good
glad you
Ferris
enjoyed
wheel.
it. 8 out of 10. Wow. Now we're walking through Old Town Montreal. European vibes. We needed a caffeine boost. We slowly made our way back from Old Montreal, walked to our apartment, took a several hour break. We're tired, lots of walking on this trip, but now we're waiting for the metro to get dinner, our last night, and we're eating somewhere good. So we're doing a tasty menu. So the first thing is olives with
Stuff with
carrots, walnuts, and pickles. And Chris got a glass of Syrian wine. How is it?
pretty good, pretty complex, full body.
Let's eat. Alright, the next food. This is interesting. It's filet mignon wrap, quail egg on top, I believe sheep cheese in the middle. I don't know what's below. Tomato maybe?
Yeah.
And this restaurant is Syrian food, which we've never had before.
I'm excited.
The olives are alright. I'm not a huge olive fan. But let's try the first real meal. The filet mignon wraps are very good. This is a 17 ingredient salad. You see some pomegranate seeds. I don't know what else is in. And then this is beef tartare and what, pepper?
Red pepper paste.
And then a cheese puff, which probably will be my favorite. The food is coming out fast.
Yeah.
The salad is very flavorful, very citrusy, and I really like the beef tartare as well. It has a lot of flavors, a lot of different flavors. The cheese puff, no surprise, is very good. We're on to fish. This is sea bass with some veggies. And this is shrimp with yogurt and honey and some spices. What's kind of weird here is there's like a big break in between a couple courses, but then they bring out like the courses quickly. We got our last service, which is a lot of meat. So this is a rack of lamb with pomegranate sauce. What is this, Chris? Kibbeh, which is like ground beef from lamb. Chicken with garlic mayo, that sounds good. And then wait, what's this one?
Lamb kebab with cherry sauce.
It's so much meat, but everything looks really good. And last but not least, we have dessert. These two are pistachio, but they assured us they tasted different, which they do look like they'll taste different, and chocolate in the middle. I'm entering my food coma. We're waiting for the metro, but that dinner was easily the best thing we ate all trip.
I agree.
Our two favorite things were the first like filet mignon wrap, that was quite good, and the cherry like
Lamb kebab.
base. Yeah, that was really good too. But honestly, everything was good. Like nothing was a miss. My least favorite was olives, just because I'm not a big olive person. But everything else was really good. So 10 out of 10. Now we're ready to go home.
Food coma.
Yeah. It's now the next morning and we're leaving soon. And first it's raining, which thankfully we did not get this during our trip. But we're gonna get bagels and coffee because you gotta try a Montreal bagel. Get in some coffee. Get in pumpkin spice lattes. We got here and this is like the most popular place in Montreal to get a bagel. Like we took a metro to get here and we come and it's like cash only and we have no Canadian cash. So then we're like, oh, like can we just give you American cash? And it was kind of a mess. I think we ended up overpaying for these bagels, but we were here. What are we gonna do?
They said they would charge us 20% more for US dollar payments, but then they also gave us our change back in Canadian dollars.
Basically, the bagels were gonna be $26 in Canadian, and they would just like give us 25 USD, which like is overcharging, but that's not bad. But then our second problem is we only had 50 USD. I mean, I had no cash. Chris only had 50 USD, so at least we had cash to pay. But then the girl gave us 31 Canadian dollars back. But here are the bagels. I got like a sandwich situation with like bacon, egg, and Chris got some lox, the classic. And mine's on an everything bagel and his is on sesame. So we're excited to see how they stand up to New York bagels. My verdict is I like New York bagels more, but I can appreciate this as a bagel type. It's very different. Definitely way crunchier, less chewy. We are now back at our Airbnb after the eventful bagel and coffee morning. We're gonna pack up and head to the airport because our flight is at 1 today. So that wraps up this trip and this vlog. Montreal was super fun. The food was very, very good. Definitely the highlight, but I feel like we did some other fun things. My top 3 favorite things were the Botanical Gardens, going to the and Matcha place, and the cocktail bar, the Cloakroom. But honestly, everything was a good time and we couldn't have asked for nicer fall weather. Let me know if you've ever been to Montreal. If so, did we miss anywhere good? What are your thoughts on the places we did go? And where should we travel to next? Currently, we don't have any trips on the book, which is unusual for us. That is it for this video. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.